Hi there! So today I'm going to show you how to print on these cute cards from Michaels. They're really great, they're inexpensive, a great way to promote your business, especially if you're selling on Etsy or if you're delivering locally even. These are great. I've just printed my name on the outside, and on the inside I also printed find me on Instagram and Facebook and my Poppies and Goldfish, so that people hopefully will look me up and find more of my things and help support me. And I can keep doing this. That's what we want, right? I found these at Michael's. Just gonna show you. These are some cards that I found, and there's 80 cards, note cards, and envelopes in here for $5. I don't know how long Michaels will have these, or maybe they've had them a really long time and I'm not even aware of it. Okay, well, I was going to show you my trick for making some of these envelopes up for my business. Because today I had an order and I was sending it out and I wanted to send a thank you and I didn't have it ready. So it took me a half an hour, 45 minutes just to get 2 cards cranked out. So I don't want to do that again. So I'm not going to make all 80, but I'd like to make 10 or 15. So I'm just going to show you real quick my process for how I do that. Okay, so first of all, I've got 2 cards. I can do 2 at a time on my mat. So I'm just going to measure it really quick and see what size it is. 5.5 by 8.5, because we're going to want to open this up to lay it on our mat to write on. So let me show you real quick. Now you might want to use a light grip mat. I'm going to use this standard grip mat right now because mine is not quite as sticky as it once was, and then big for you all. Okay, so the first thing is I'm going to line it up on the far right side and just get it, pretty straight. Line it with the top and the sides. I don't have a roller, but I need to get one because I think it would come in handy. And now we're going to do the other one right on the other side. So we're going to have them in the corners. Does that make sense? I think this is an easier way to do it. Okay, so let's go to the computer and design what we're going to print, and I'll show you my trick for how we're going to do this. Okay? All right, guys, you're going to start with a blank canvas. So you're going to click on New. You're going to have a blank canvas here. So the first thing that we want to do is figure out what do we want on the front of our card. And I want poppies and goldfish. So go to Text and add your text here. Okay, let's move that up so I can see it a little bit better. Now, let's make sure that we center it because I want it centered. So go up here to alignment and just choose center. And now I want to match this font that I have over here. I already know that, but let me step you through the font really quick. So you're going to go up here to the fonts, and over on your filter, be sure that you choose writing, because we don't need to look through every single font that's on here. We want to look at the ones that are just strictly for the pens, and that would be the writing fonts. Now, if you scroll through here, if you're not familiar, the green A means Cricut Access. So that means you have to be paying that monthly membership with Cricut to have this available to you. And I really think it's worth it. Now, do be careful. There are some that do cost extra, and the price will be right here. Now, they'll allow you to enter that in, but then I believe it's when you go to say make it that they will ask you to purchase that font. Let's go ahead. And I know mine is called Storyteller. So I can just click up here in the search bar and just type in the first few letters, and it'll pop up. So I'll click on Storyteller, and here I have it. Now, We know that the card that we're going to print on, or the portion of the card that we're going to print on, is 5.5 wide by 4.25 tall. So let's do a little trick. Let's simulate our card because I'm really visual. Let's go to Shapes and click on Square. So we're going to insert a square onto our canvas. Okay, go down here to the Unlock button, and this allows us to make it into a rectangle or make it any size that we want. Now we can stretch it, or easier for this, since we know our exact dimensions, go up here to Size, and we're going to say 5.5 tab 4.25 and just enter. Okay, so I know now that this is the exact size of my card that I am printing the poppies and goldfish on. I'm going to go up to the color and I'm going to make that white. Okay, so let's move it over here. Now I can take this text that I've just created and fit it onto this card. Now, let me just show you really quick. If it disappears, if you've got a hold of your font and you move it over your rectangle and it disappears, it's just behind it. So all we have to do is say bring it to the front so I can see it. That is up here under Arrange. Click on the Arrange and say Send to Front. Okay, and there it is. So now we can pick it and move it around the front of the card. So now we can see that because I'm just so visual, I can see it's going to fit on there quite well. Let's go up here and it says line type and it's draw. We want to make sure it says draw, that we've picked the right font. We're going to decide, do we want to use a fine point or do we want to use a marker? Those are the only two that I have, so I'm not sure what the others are. So I have fine point and I have marker, and for the front of my card, I'm going to use the marker. Now, you can choose whatever color that you want. It doesn't have to be the color that you're actually putting in. I will just default pick black most of the time, and then I just put whatever color in that I want. Now, if you wanted to get an idea of what this looked like and you had other colors on your mat or on your canvas, then obviously go ahead and pick from these different colors. I'm just going to stick with black for ease. Okay, so we've got the marker, got the black, click off of it, and we're good to go. So now all you would need to do, I'm just going to hide this one. Okay, so all you would need to do is, since we know this is the right size, let's go ahead and hide our Believe card there. So just go over to the right and the little eyeball. If you're not familiar with this will hide it from the canvas, and that also hides it from making it. So if you say make it, whatever you visually see is what's going to be made. So now we have this exactly the way we want it, the right size, the right marker, color, all that. So the easiest thing to do, because we want to print two of them, because we put two cards on the mat, right? So we just want to go over here to the right, make sure it's selected, go over to the right, click duplicate. It's going to duplicate it exactly. Okay? You can move it, you can leave it stacked, it doesn't matter. When it moves it to the canvas, it'll put it where it wants it. Now is a really great time to go up and hit save. Okay, let's go say make it. Okay, now this is not where we want it at all, right? Okay, but easy peasy, you can move it. Just pick one of them, drag it down, and just reference your mat. So when you look at your mat and where you place those cards, I know that it's 4.25, that I need it to be just a little below the 4.25, because the top is 4.25 and the bottom is 4.25, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of eyeball that and kind of put it about where I think the center is. Again, I'm referencing my mat that's on my table in front of me, so I can see that the card ends about here. So we're going to do that for this side as well. And once you get that where you want it, you can go ahead and say continue. When your material comes up, I have a favorite saved, so it just pops right up. Likely you will see popular unless you have some favorites saved. I try to always match my material close. So you can see here that we have load the black 1.0 medium tip pen in clamp A. So you're going to go ahead and do that. You're going to load the mat. Okay, press the load button. So we just open this up, and I'm going to use the marker. I'm going to use silver. Put it in here. See that little arrow? You point that down, snap it in, and close it, and it's ready to go. We have our 2 cards on here, and we're ready to feed those in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and load. Okay, and we're ready to go. Go ahead and press start. And now we get to watch the magic happen. I'm a Game of Thrones fan, in case you were wondering what's on my Cricut. That's what I've got it decorated for. I'm about ready for a change. Isn't that cool? That's gonna look really neat. Yeah, I'm excited. I love this. Ah, that's really cute. That makes me happy. Okay, quick trick for taking these off, especially on the standard grip mat. I have this scraper from 651vinyl.com. I bend my mat. I know there's some people who say they have broken theirs, and I bend mine a lot. Here's a quick little tip for you. If you want to do multiples of these, you don't have to click on finish. It's super simple. All you do is just unload your mat and take your cards off. Put 2 new cards on in the same spot, and simply just load and then hit your go button again, and it will print them one more time. So I like to print all the fronts of my cards and then go back and print all the insides. So that's a much easier way than having to reposition your name or whatever you're going to put on the front of the card each time. Okay, so now you have finished that up and you're ready to do the inside. Okay, well, we're still working with the same dimensions. So let's go over here to the right and unhide our square. Okay, now you can either hide these or you can delete one. It doesn't make a difference. I'll just hide it for now. So I am just going to duplicate. And you don't have to do it this way. Now double click on it. You could just create a new text box is what I'm getting at. Sometimes I just like to duplicate it. I think it's easier. I have all my saved pen settings and everything. I just know it's the same. So hit the backspace and now find me on Instagram and Facebook at Coffees and Goldfish. Okay, now I do know that I want that centered. You can click off of it. Obviously, it's in the same size font that we did earlier. So let's select it and let's shrink it down. And let's just move it up here to our card. And also because we duplicated it and this one was on the front, so this one will be too. So it's just eliminates a few extra steps. So now just make this the size that you would like. Let's hide our rectangle because if we don't, the machine will try to cut it out. Now we're going to need 2 of these. Okay, so let's go up to duplicate. And we don't want to print this poppies again, so let's go hide it. Now this time I'm just not going to move them. I'm just going to say make it. Again, you might want to save before you take that next step. Hey guys, I had to re-record this part. I accidentally deleted it. So this is when you are getting ready to print the inside of your card. And I don't have a blank one, I apologize. So you're going to want to look at your card just like you're reading it, and you'll open it up And that is how you'll place it down on the mat. Gonna put it in both corners like you did before. Just like you're reading it, open it, place it on the mat. And again, this way, when you're looking in Design Space, getting ready to print them, you can look at your numbers. You've got your 5.5 here, and this is 6.5 here. So you can kind of decide where you want those words to be. Now, I'll show you this as well. This was done with a marker. It's a much more bold look. And this one was done with the fine point. I believe when I was on the canvas, I forgot to switch it to the fine point marker, or the fine point pen, instead of the marker. And I like this look better for the inside, but it doesn't really matter. It's whatever you like. Okay, thank you. Okay, now this time we want this on the top. So just decide where you want it to print, and again, reference your card on your mat so that you can see where your card ends and where it begins, so that you know about the right placement. Once you get it where you want it, say continue. Your machine's going to connect. I'm on Bluetooth with mine. That's very handy. We're going to set our material. Again, you might need to click on popular if you don't have a favorite selected. Just going to click cardstock, and I'm going to make sure that my pen is in clamp A and ready to go, and it is. Load your mat and your C, and you're ready to go. Okay, so you take those off the mat and fold them up, and you are all done. You've got some great little note cards that are personalized and will hopefully help drive some people to your social media pages and to get you more sales and to make your customer feel really appreciated. So if you enjoyed this, please hit the like button and join us on Facebook in the Facebook group. I really do want to see what you make. Okay, thanks guys. Is my face crooked? Did I never know this? Because, you know, we watch these videos and people just turn out this perfect things, and it's intimidating. So here's what I just did. So on this one where I got it too close to the bottom, but I could still use it, right? Well, I was trying to match the bright yellow inside for my writing, and instead I forgot what color I had pulled down and got sidetracked and said, oh, that teal is so pretty. Let me put that on the inside of my card. That's yellow and red. And now teal. So I'm still using it. Yes, I am. But things don't always go perfectly, and that's okay. That's okay. Or then you make this lovely card that is just gorgeous with purple metallic, and then you put it on the mat and you forget what color you use, so you put teal on the inside. This is my life. This is what I do. Purple, teal, and it's fine. It's creative, very creative. Just a girl sitting here waiting for her Cricut to get done. There was a fast mode. Maybe I should have picked it. Hey, are you still here? Get off YouTube and go make something, because you've got to come to the Facebook group later and show us what you made, okay? We'll see you around.